निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। See, we are getting this beautiful opportunity to undergo the study of Srimad Bhagavatam here currently, like where I am in Prayagraj, and it is so beautiful actually to just currently, like every day we are reading Bhagavatam for 5.5 a day, every day, and it is a beautiful experience actually. So much wonderful substance our acharyas have given, and it's falling in love with it. So reading Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami's words, and then Prabhupada's purports, and then Vishnu Jagat Thakur's commentary, Jiva Goswami's. Very, very beautiful actually. This is our Bhakti Vaibhav week. So I just thought to share something which we read today, because it was not because we read it today, but because it is really very beautiful. Hmm. It gives many lessons in our practical life. So it's about many things. It's about art of decision making. It's about maturity. It's about harmonizing, okay, the apparent contradictions. So let's discuss it. You know. So this is Canto first of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 7. Okay, and the verses particularly which we will take are mm, from 12th onwards. Yeah. So let me display it for you. No, it's not opening. Stop it.
We can share here, bro, if you want.
You can share, yeah.
Yeah. Which one, Proji? What is the verse?
1712.
1 7.
I don't know why it's not opening here. No, some noise. Okay, here open. So, so we'll not be reciting verses and all. Probably we'll just uh, read read through some translations. So see in this verse, 12th verse, he says, "Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu." Okay, next. When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations. And when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama, beheaded the five sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered them as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana was not pleased in the least. So herein it is described that how this Ashwathama was the son of Dronacharya, who was apparently supposed to be a Brahmana. So this person actually, like in the just almost in the end of the war, like Duryodhana is killed by Bhima. So in one sense, war has ended actually. But this guy, he goes to the Pandavas camp during the last few hours of the of the war. He goes to the Pandavas camp, the opposite side camp, and there were five young people sleeping there, okay, with like some cloth on them, blanket. So he beheads all of them. Actually, he was thinking that they're Pandavas, but they were Pandavas' sons. Now, these Pandavas' sons, they were just like, teenage boys, but they were there because they were Kshatriyas, so their bodies were well built. And they were boys. So they just died actually there. I mean, who kills a sleeping person, right? Just beheaded a person. Five sons, all of them. So he had this thing that I want to kill all the Pandavas. So even Duryodhan kind of was not happy with this act. Of course, his main point was Duryodhan's main point was that Pandavas are still alive. So you see, he did a very very heinous act, extremely heinous act. Hmm. Now, if this was not sufficient, let's go ahead. See what he does ahead. Let's go to 15. Draupadi, the mother of the five children of Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her. O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. See? Very, what kind of description, isn't it? Like, very, very ghastly description. Hmm. Then, so he's telling, I'll bring that person to you, like who's the killer of your sons. And you can stand on the top of his head, the cut off head, and then you take your bath. Okay, next. Arjuna, who was guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons. And getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwathama, the son of his martial teacher. So he goes. Ashwathama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. When the son of the Brahmana, Ashwathama, saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, the nuclear weapon. See, here is a very important thing. This guy is going to use nuclear weapon. I mean, he will be using. He actually used it against Arjuna. So he invokes the see previously nuclear weapon means people had this like mantra power. So they had this subtle science. Today's modern man, his electrical power, his nuclear power is all very gross. So if you study like I think it's around 80, 83 chapters of 80 or 83rd chapter of this. Last 20, 30 chapters of 10th canto. So Bhaumasura, Narakasura kidnaps many, many princesses from all over India. And, India, no, I mean, that time it was an entire planet only. So he captures them in his, like, one place was there. And this is the like troubling them. He's trying to exploit them. So Krishna goes to save them. And that time air itself, which means he had such great voltage. Okay, he could ionize air particles, which means he was able to conduct electricity at his will through the air. So beyond a certain voltage, even air particles can get ionized. So this is like fabulous, you know. We don't have today's modern man doesn't have that thing. We talk about fourth state of matter, na, solid, liquid, gas, and I forgot what that is. Something we used to talk about actually, like when I was in college. So they are discussing all these things, but they don't have these kind of voltages or this kind of technology. But these people had actually. So they had subtle signs of psychology. They had subtle signs of like ionizing the air particles in themselves, and they had this also nuclear power simply by invoking mantras, sound vibration. So sound vibrations were so powerful. Mhm. So sometimes when in some region the rains would not be there sufficiently, so the expert musicians they could do alap of such ragas. Hmm. Hmm. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni dha pa ga ma re sa सारे सारे गरे गरे गम 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 प पद पद नि धनि धनि सा सा नि धनि धनि ध प ध प म ग म ग म ग रे ग रे ग रे सा sa re ga. They have such. Of course, this is very basic actually, but this sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa they would use in such kind of alap na, that there is one alap actually particular which is in a particular meter in chanda. It brings rains, Prabhu, actually. So in the modern Kali Yuga, we don't have such musicians, you know. And previously, what was the highest loved game, sports? You know, that was debate. Like, debate based on knowledge. Today, people don't even have knowledge. Like, they only speculate or say anything and everything. And they need Google to remember anything. They need their phones and laptops. Previously, they were just like Shrutidhar, and they would just sit down and have debates of, jnana, knowledge. So, what a polished society it was, what a polished civilization. Hmm. Anyway, so here we find perfect example of guided missiles, misguided men. Okay, so Ashwathama had this power of nuclear weapon, but he himself was misguided. Brahmastra could be guided, but his mind was misguided. So in today's world, also people have so much of power, money, resources, talents, abilities, okay, influence. But the thing is, how are they using it? In which direction? For what purpose? So, so more than the need of technology, money, and other things and resources in this world, what is needed is the character of people. What is needed are the values and the right desires and aspirations of the people. Hmm. So, yeah. In fact, if we see this, Ashwathama had acquired this weapon also by forcing Dronacharya, his teacher. So who was his father also. Actually, Dronacharya didn't want to give to him. Dronacharya gave to Arjuna, Brahmastra weapon. Arjuna never used on anyone actually. But this guy, he is using it for his own selfish purpose. Just see that too against a very noble man. So yeah. Hmm. So Ashwathama, he's acting impulsively and immaturely.
Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. There is some network connectivity issue on Prabhu's side. He's going to join soon. Maybe we can chant Hare Krishna in the meantime. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Huh. Oh, is this better audible?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I've changed my network. Okay, sorry. And thank you for calling. So, can you? Okay, I'll just continue the discussion. I don't know till where you heard. I was sharing about. Did you hear about the guided missiles and misguided men?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So I was sharing that how this guy is acting impulsively and immaturely. So actually, like many people think that like Devamrit Maharaj, na, he was sharing once that many people they think that scientific advancement is actually doing a lot of good to the world. But he was sharing that there are many scientists who who are themselves able to see what a degradation, modern many of the modern in like inventions are doing, to the human civilization, but nobody talks about it. Even this recently, this COVID medicines, COVID vaccines. So many people have their own reservations about it, their own apprehensions about it. Like there were some side effects which were caused by this vaccine, but nobody is talking about it because there are on the top of everything now. There are few people running the society, and then these people have some interests, so then they are not ready to reveal it. It happens at times. So So here we find Ashwatthama who acted impulsively and selfishly. He had such a big power and he used it against such a noble man like Arjuna and for a very, very selfish cause. What is that? To steal the or to snatch the kingdom which belongs to Arjuna and Pandavas, not to these guys. Just look at the impudence. So already they are doing wrong, and on the top of that, they want to kill someone if someone is trying to defend that wrong. So yeah, so let's go ahead what he does. Yes, Prabhu. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons. So now what Arjuna does is Arjuna like is counteracting. Okay, what is Arjuna doing? Arjuna first takes shelter of Krishna. Hmm? He, you see in text 22, 23, 24, 25, he is actually glorifying Krishna. Hmm? And he takes shelter of Krishna by praying to him that, my dear Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead, and you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of devotees. So actually, when we become Krishna's devotees, so actually we become fearless. We start becoming fearless. Like one amazing thing is devotees don't fear death because they know they'll go back to Godhead or they'll go to the next life where Krishna will again arrange for them to go back to Godhead. So actually, devotees become so fearless they don't even realize. Even just by knowing that we are not the bodies, we become free from so many things. Like somebody got white hair quickly. Okay, no problem. Anyway, we are not the body. Prabhu, body is temporary. Prabhu, body is miserable. So just the basic knowledge of Krishna consciousness actually gives us so much freedom. What to say when we actually practice and go back to God. We also get free from unnecessary desires, that I need to have like couple of girlfriends. No, you are told, this will not satisfy you, and it is also sinful. So devotees get free from so many things, like I was seeing in American Airlines, when I was traveling, like, so everybody is always drinking like something, beer or wine or so so many different things they're always drinking, like. So I was wondering, what it is all like kind of what do you call like rotten substance, na? Like when you in the grapevines and all, like you rot them and that's how the wine is made and it's so costly also. Like and then everybody's when I came back from America, so in the flight, so many people they brought liquor from America. I was thinking, I don't have to carry like such heavy things and spend so much money on it. So they will say, like I saw some people when Kautukarna was asking them for donation, so they take the books and then he asks them for donation. So then some of them return the books. They don't know, actually we are not interested. So they don't have like $10 to pay, donation, but they will buy like hundreds of dollars worth liquor, like very fancy bottles and all, you know. So, so I'm sorry, I forgot why I came to this. Can you remind me?
For drinking wine. We were coming to wine, Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody is like all around drinking wine is like such a
The basic knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So
yeah.
that's
So such a matlab waste of human life, like bodily point of view also, and money and everything. But just the basic knowledge of Krishna consciousness can save us from so much of unnecessary expenses also. Like our idea of, when devotees in America they want to have a nice, like yearly tour, or like some picnic or something. Where do they go? They go to that sadhu sangha. How much is the expenses, when you say it's some average American, he goes for a weekend to some other place to enjoy some resort or something, so much money they have to spend, like he goes to Las Vegas or something, so much money, and at max, what do the devotees do in America? They come to India for pilgrimage, and I think even lesser than how much they spend in America for a month, they must be spending while touring India. Isn't it? So it's like, so for devotees, there so much of cost actually, In fact, sometimes some devotees jokingly say that after coming to Krishna consciousness, even the cost of undergarments goes away. You are using like, cocaine and all. So so many costs actually come down. Just the basic knowledge of Krishna consciousness actually helps us so much. It helps us to remain uh, young and what do you call it, clean, like hygienic. Often people tell, Prabhu, you are 39, you don't look like that, you know. So Prabhu, I am 39. You know. So because like when you practice such a simple and hygienic and clean life, you remain very youthful and energetic, in your life. So it is so good actually. So on the other hand, you see here, like this person, Ashwathama, he is like so much of envy, na? So much of envy. Mm. So anyway, so Krishna, Arjuna offers prayers to Krishna. He glorifies Krishna. See, he's following etiquette even in such extreme circumstances. Okay, and then what he does? Then there is this verse number 26. So in 26, Arjuna says, how is it that this dangers and effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it. And Lord is answering in text 27 that know from me that this is the act of the son of Drona. He has thrown the hymns of nuclear energy, Brahmastra, and he does not know how to retract the glare. He has helplessly done this, being afraid of the imminent death. So he's done it for selfish purpose. Like he just then, of course, Prabhupada explained that the Vedic Brahmastra was much more accurate than the modern nuclear weapons. So it could go straight actual to the person who was a target and kill him and hurt no one else. Okay, text 28. He says that only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. So you're also expert. Why don't you like cast your own Brahmastra? So then Arjuna does that in text 29. And text 30 says that when those two Brahmastra combined together, a great circle of fire was formed, and it was a tremendous energy, tremendous heat coming together. And in fact, the entire world, entire planet felt the heat of it. 31 says. And then text 32 that that finally Arjuna retracted his own weapon. So this is the beauty of the Vedic weapon. They could be retracted also. They were accurate, they were precise, they were not gross, they could be invoked by mantras, and they could be retracted back. But on the modern weapons, they hardly kill the target intended. Mostly they kill all others, and they do a lot of other damage also, and they cannot be retracted back. And they are very gross. Okay, yeah. Then text 33. So so Arjuna is like very upset, that this thing, like what this guy is doing, he's just indiscriminately just using weapons, and so text 33, he like captures him. Because first of all he killed the sons of Draupadi, the five sons of Pandavas, and now he has done this throwing of Brahmastra. So Arjuna is very upset. He captures him, binds him with ropes, and then he wanted to take him to the military camp, like where all the Pandavas were there. So now Krishna is speaking. Now here comes the why we are reading this section. Here begins the thing. Text 35. So what does Krishna say? See, any of you would like to read, Prabhu, from here? Text 35.
Text 35. Lord Shri Krishna said, O Arjuna, you should not show mercy by releasing this relative of a Brahma Bandhu, for he has killed innocent boys in their sleep.
Hmm.
A
So see,
person,
here is Krishna's opinion. Don't show him mercy, solidly uh, show him the treatment. Yeah. Next.
a person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his chariot, nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul.
Yeah. So see, nobody no who will kill such people. Actually, it's like it's a very cowardly act to do like that. Even you see in the modern sports also, like they have like if somebody is boxing, so the other person also should belong to the same range of I think weight. Yeah. Okay. Karna. Uh, I didn't understand, Prabhu. Lok Bandhu Ram, Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhu. The verse was that you shouldn't kill somebody that is insane or um, without their chariot or whatever. Was Karna without his chariot when he was killed by Arjuna?
Oh, right. He was. So there is an explanation given, Prabhu. Yeah. The thing is that when Karna was actually his one of the wheels of his chariot had some problem, so he just would take like few minutes to repair it. So he got down and he was repairing it, and the code of conduct was very um, appropriate, like in those days. So no Kshatriya warrior would attack on another Kshatriya if he was without a weapon, or if he was engaged in some kind of exchange with another person, so he would not attack. Or if he was already in battle with like another warrior, then also another warrior would not attack. Or if he was repairing his ratha, or if he is into an emergency. So in none of these situations any warrior would attack another warrior. However, when Krishna saw Karna in that situation, Krishna immediately told Arjuna, "Hey Arjuna, kill him, shoot him." So then Karna looked at Arjuna, Arjuna looked at Karna, and Arjuna looked at Krishna. Arjuna immediately started taking out some arrows and pointing towards Karna. Karna said, "Hey Arjun, wait a minute, what are you doing? Is this befitting a warrior like you? Is this befitting a person of character like you? Don't you know that I'm not in a position to be killed, to be even attacked, and you are standing on your chariot up there, and I am on the ground. You are with weapons. I am not with weapons. Okay, I am engaged in repairing the wheel of my chariot. How can you attack upon me?" So Arjuna also knew these things definitely, and his character never asked him to do so. In fact, he was not about to do so. Yet, because Krishna said he was going to do it, so then Arjuna looks at Krishna that, "Are you wanting to answer, or should I? What should I do?" So Krishna said, "Hey, Karna, look who's talking here. Don't talk of character. Don't talk of dharma. Don't talk of codes of conduct. At least they don't sound good when you speak them. Why? Where were your values? Where were your codes of conduct when you gave that suggestion, when you gave that idea to Duryodhan that let us disrobe the wife of Pandavas, Draupadi, in the assembly filled with men, right in the middle of daylight? You got Draupadi dragged to the court, and then you were trying your best to disrobe her. Where was your dharma that time? Where was your code of conduct that time? Then Karna was looking here and there. Yeah, that's true. Then Krishna said, "Where was your dharma that time when Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, he was just a 16-year-old boy and a young warrior. So you took him inside the Chakravyuh, and then 10 of you, because the 10 Maharathis, like 10 experienced warriors, you attacked upon him simultaneously from different directions. He was just a young warrior. Now, code of conduct says one person should have combat with another one warrior at one point of time. So, and 10 of you attacked upon him simultaneously. Obviously, you killed him. Where was your code of conduct that time? You don't speak all these nonsense words, code of conduct. Where was your code of conduct when in front of you the cheatings were done with Yudhishthir Maharaj, hmm? And the Pandavas lost so many things. Well, what about the code of conduct that time? What about dharma that time? So Karna knew many things were true, and he was like a participant in all of some. He was even leading many of them. So Karna could not say anything. He said, "Yeah." So then Krishna said, "Arjuna, we want to show to the world that if somebody tries to play it smart, then we outsmart that guy also. They may think that they may cross the boundaries of dharma and try to outsmart others, but they don't know that they also can be outsmarted." So Krishna said that there is no sin in killing this person in this state, because he doesn't have that character. And then Arjuna is for Arjuna the greatest truth is to follow the absolute truth. So Arjuna immediately went ahead, and Karna was finished. So does it answer, bro? Lokram Bandhu, bro?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, what an amazing answer. But then what's ironic though is that when he's ordered to kill Ashwatthama, then there's hesitation.
Yeah, that was Yudhishthir. You're right. Yeah. So that was Yudhishthir. Here, the hesitation is you will see ahead actually why is it so here. So there was at one point of time Yudhishthir Maharaj was asked to announce like that Ashwatthama is dead, so that Dronacharya becomes little kind of because he's a father, so emotionally he gets affected. And when a person gets emotionally affected in the middle of a war, so naturally, like, he becomes weakened, you know. So Yudhishthir Maharaj was asked by Krishna to announce that, but Yudhishthir Maharaj hesitated. He said, "No, Krishna, that is not true." Krishna actually, see, when absolute truth is asking to do something, it is beyond true and false. It is the greatest truth. And you know because it is in the service of dharma, because you know how can you play fair with those who have always been unfair with everyone? You try to be fair. It's like there is a thief and he stole many things from many people, including a big car, and then he's going on that freeway with a speed of like 100 miles an hour, and the speed limit was 60. So now, if the cops have to catch him, should they follow the speed limit of 60, or should they? I mean, they have to go like at 120. And that's a total fine thing to do. So like that. So Krishna actually shows such examples also, that if you try to outsmart or if you try to cheat, then Krishna is the cheater amongst the cheaters. I mean, he's the biggest cheater. So he will go beyond and catch that person. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So here now, why Arjuna is hesitating is because that shows the character of Arjuna. You will see ahead, one verse will come when like Arjuna actually passes the test which Krishna gives. So Krishna is actually testing that. So even though other person may be wrong, sometimes sometimes the person might have been sinful or offensive, but a Vaishnava should be compassionate. A Vaishnava is not very eager to punish someone because that's not the purpose only. The purpose is to transform the person. And if punishment is the only way that the person can be transformed through, then fine, so be it. But the devotee is never eager to like punish or even hurt anyone. What to say of punish, like, so that is a devotee's nature. So here in the text number 36, so a person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who's careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his chariot. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. So again, like, if someone is weak or um, uh, someone is not in a situation like wherein he should be harmed, so he cannot defend himself, then one should not attack the person. So then text 37. So basically, why he said this? Because he said that, see, Suptam Balam, which means these boys of Pandavas, they were actually not only boys, they were sleeping and they did not have weapon, and it was dark also. So there were, like, from many points of view, this guy has done a totally heinous act. It's like the topmost degree of murders. Not even first degree. It's a new degree of murder only. New definition altogether. So that is why he is saying that he should be punished actually. Then text 37 he says, yeah. So you were reading a pro. Go ahead.
True, please. A cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions.
Yeah. So actually, biggest punishment uh, to a selfish person is to just let him be with himself only. The association of oneself is the biggest punishment for a selfish person, because from outside it appears that he is very happy or something, but selfishness, in the history of this world, selfishness has not brought true satisfaction and joy to the heart of anyone in the history of this world, in the history of human existence. By When someone achieves something, or when someone defeats someone by using his power or strength or his crookedness, so at max he can impress other people. Other people can become envious of him, but nobody loves him. You know. And without love, without genuine selfless love, nobody has become happy ever. A child is so happy receiving the selfless love of mother, and the mother is so happy offering the selfless love to the child. So the perfection uh, of a person's life is, when he achieves the selfless love for the Supreme Lord and from the Supreme Lord. So here, Krishna is saying that actually, if you punish a person who is like crossing his boundaries so much, a cruel and wretched person who's like who doesn't think twice to do anything at the expense of like others, even at the expense of killing them. So who doesn't think twice. So such a person, the greatest act of mercy towards such a person is to punish him, is to kill him actually, because he is a nuisance for himself also, because he's like creating so many sinful reactions one after the other, and he's creating so many habits and inclinations for himself, like, you know. So he's gaining so many curses from people's hearts. Actually, any living entity from his heart, when he blesses or curses, okay, so it affects our future life, because in every living entity's heart there is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada writes in one place that whether the person is a devotee or not, whether the person is Indian, American, or pious or impious, or anybody, man or woman or anybody, he may be even an atheist, but when from his heart when he curses, or like he is very unnecessarily, uh, he is put into difficulty by unnecessarily, okay? Unnecessarily he's put into difficulty by, even if the other person is a devotee. So then it is said that the pain which comes from his heart actually inspires the Paramatma in his heart to request the Paramatma in the other person's heart who inflicted the pain, to also affect the future of that person, to teach him a lesson again. So similarly, blessings, when we behave in such a way that the from the other person's heart blessings come. Like, I see that the devotees there in San Jose are very expert at appreciating people. They start the conversation by, "I like your hat. I like your hat. Hey, that's a very good watch." I mean, I get surprised what all they notice and they appreciate, and to give the book. And the person is very happy, like, and I tried this at the airport. Okay, when I was going, so there was this security officer, and he was having all those things. And I don't know, I just kind of appreciated his appearance, his getup, and he was like very, I mean, really, he was like very good. I just spontaneously appreciated, really, like, I mean, that's not what we do regularly here in India, but there, I just, so I didn't even have books, okay, with me. So, but I just, hey, that's, you're really looking good. I didn't even say anything specific. And this guy was taken aback, hey, that's nice of you to say that, and then, he kept saying me thank you 3, 4 times, like, thank you for that, And I'm like, oh my God. So actually, if from someone's heart blessings come, that also affects. Curses come, that also affects. So when somebody is again and again doing such activities, such actions, such interactions with other jivas, it is just harming others. So when you punish that person and stop that person from doing so, by punishing him, by limiting him, it's actually an act of mercy towards him. So so here is such a person, like, he should be killed actually, definitely. It's like a mad uh, elephant going around and killing everyone. It's like a very, very envious serpent going around and, you know biting everyone. So text 37 will just take like 5 to 8 minutes more.
A, a cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions.
Oh, sorry, I think we just read the next one.
38. Furthermore, I personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of the killer of her sons.
Hmm. So Krishna is reminding. First of all, he tells all these verses. You must kill him for his own good and for others' good. And third, you have also promised to Draupadi. I heard the promise. So you're supposed to take this guy's head. Yeah. Next.
39. This man is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Not only that, but he has also dissatisfied his master. He is but the burnt remnant of his family. Kill him immediately.
Yeah. This guy is anyway not worthy of living because he even he could not serve a master like Duryodhana also. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sutta,
Next.
Sutta Goswami said, although Krishna, who was examining Arjuna's religion, encouraged Arjuna to kill the son of Dronacharya, Arjuna, a great soul, did not like the idea of killing him, although Ashwatthama was a heinous murderer of Arjuna's family members.
Yeah. Just see the thing, huh? Arjuna passed the test. So this was actually Krishna testing Arjuna that, uh, like, oh, Arjuna, imagine if Arjuna had said, oh, Krishna, wonderful, huh? You want me to kill him immediately? I would love to do so. See, even if Krishna wants, still a devotee is not, of course, devotee will do it if Krishna wants, but not a devotee is happy about it. No. When Duryodhan fell dead, so third canto of Bhagavatam says there is a verse specifically for this. Like, Krishna was not happy. Krishna was sad when Duryodhan died. Lord Ram was sad when Ravana died, when Ravana fell on the battlefield. Because for Lord, everybody, he loves everyone. When there is no way out, then the parents may, have to discipline the child or, be a little tough with the child, punish him, ground him, and all that. But actually, they don't want to do it, but they have to do it for the future welfare of the child. Similarly with the Lord. Hmm. Yeah. Then next row.
41. After reaching his own camp, Arjuna, along with his dear friend and charioteer Sri Krishna, entrusted the murderer unto his dear wife, who was lamenting for her murdered sons.
Yeah. So, so actually, many times Krishna and his representatives may test us, and then we have to pass through those tests. So there are many examples like where Krishna tests, like Krishna tests gopis by telling, okay, you go back to your homes. But gopis said, no, our eternal home is in your lotus feet. Narsimhadev tested Prahlad, come with me to the spiritual world. He says, no, I will serve my spiritual master here. Shukdev Goswami tests Balaram last time. No, 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 please explain to me. Don't skip like that. This testing eagerness. Narad Muni thinks Dhruva is literally managing. Hey, this is not a child's play. Go to home and drink your mother's milk. You're just a child. Dhruva says, hey, Narad Muni, I'm an honest seeker. If you can show me a path to attain Vishnu and attain the fulfillment of my desires, fine. Otherwise, why are you discouraging me? Narad Muni says, oh, I was just testing you. You passed the test. Yeah. So now in the last part of this episode, in the text 41, so Arjuna, along with his dear friend Krishna, entrusted the murderer unto his dear wife. So he goes and he just puts this guy um, in this last scene, like he's putting this Ashwathama, this culprit, in front of his wife Draupadi. That here is the culprit who killed your sons. And Draupadi looked at Ashwathama, and interestingly, she paid respect to Ashwathama. She bowed down. Now, this is astonishing. How can she bow down to Ashwathama? Because this is the character of people of the Vedic times. She says he is after all the son of our teacher. He is the son of Dronacharya. And he is from a very great family dynasty. So whatever he did, but I respect him. Because of his lineage, because of his connection, because of whatever good qualities he may have, and therefore I feel we should leave him. Can you imagine? I mean, a mother whose 5 sons have just been killed like that day only, in such a heinous way as by this person. In fact, the next verse says, 43rd, she could not tolerate Ashwatthama's being bound by ropes. And being a devoted lady, she said, release him, for he is a Brahmana, a spiritual master. So basically, she is telling that he belongs to the Brahmana clan, and because he belongs to the Brahmana clan, who are traditionally our teachers, our spiritual guides, how can we trouble him? Oh my goodness! And see text 44. Now, this is Draupadi's quality of being reasonable. It was by Dronacharya's mercy that you learned the military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling weapons. So, do you want to like repay him back by killing his son? No, I don't think so. Next verse, she says, where she's exhibiting her mercy. He, Dronacharya, is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Kripi did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. So she's telling, Arey, if his mother is already widow, and if she loses him also, then she'll be like alone. Nobody to call a family, nobody to call as a family. Then text 46, she is displaying her non-enviousness. She says, "O most fortunate one who knows, O most fortunate one who knows the principles of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipful." And then text 47, she shows the empathy, the quality of empathy. My lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. Today I am crying as a mother of 8 sons who died, and tomorrow she will die as a mother of the son who dies because of our choice. So she should not cry constantly like me. See, if you see modern people, without any reason, they'll trouble others, and if others have troubled, we'll definitely trouble them. Na? But here is a personality like Draupadi who says, no, why should she also be troubled like me? And in 48, she is like going extremely generous. If the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, offends the Brahmana order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon all. So, see, hearing this uh, six verdicts of Draupadi, 6 viewpoints of Draupadi, Arjuna was stunned. How can your heart be so compassionate? And in text 49, like Suta Goswami is just glorifying, what a great lady this Draupadi because of her devotion to Krishna, you know. And Yudhishthir Maharaj also fully supported, like because her statements were justified, glorious, full of mercy, equity, and without duplicity. Anyway, so going ahead with like the final, the main point here is, so now what happened is finally Yudhishthir Maharaj said, no, you should forgive this guy, you should leave him. And Draupadi also said the same. And Bhima says, no, you should kill him because he deserves to be killed. See in text 51. Bhima was super angry. He said, no, he deserves to be killed. You have to kill him. And then Krishna throws the bomb here, the biggest bomb. Krishna says, Arjuna, you have to satisfy all of them. How can you satisfy? See, this is a situation sometimes devotee leaders, face. Because some devotees will say, Prabhu, let us celebrate this festival by mainly by book distribution. And some others will say, Prabhu, no, mainly by prasad and Harinam distribution. And some would say, no, Prabhu, mainly by Bhagavatam Katha in the temple. Hari Bol. Now all are talking about Krishna consciousness only. And now the devotee is thinking, my God, because as a leader, he is supposed to take the decision. Somebody is going to get upset. You know what to do. So it's a very tough situation. Sometimes you find yourself in dharma sankat. There are many rights or there are many wrongs, and then which one you choose. So this is the thing. We discuss this and we end it here. So actually, what he does now, uh, Arjuna, he you see here in text 56, 57, yeah, 56 and 57. See, he removes the jewel from his head. Okay, text 55 says that he severed both hair and jewel. So this guy, na, he was a Kshatriya, Ashwathama. So he had like very good hair, okay, very well taken care hair and all, and he had a very special jewel. The jewel also gave him a lot of power as well as luster. This jewel was a very special like jewel filled with powers. So he removes that, like he gives him pain also, and he cuts like half of his hair from the head and half of his mustache and beard also. So he makes him like very awkward. Publicly humiliates him by like removing his half of hair like that and or his entire hair from the head and the jewel. So by removing the jewel, his power also became very, very less. and the other powers which he had now, various weapons. And in text 56 says he lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. And then text 57. So Arjuna removed all the wealth, whatever he had on his body, like some golden ornaments and all. And, like kind of he might have made him like black faced and like basically humiliated him heavily and removed his source of power, that jewel, and made him publicly humiliated by removing his hair and then just let him go. Now, this was because he was a Kshatriya, so this punishment for him was as good as death, even worse than death. Because when you make a Kshatriya humiliated in public, that is worse than death. When you make a businessman pay a heavy fine of amount of money, then that is worse than death for him. And when you simply acknowledge that a Brahmana did a wrong thing, that itself is very big punishment for Brahmana, as good as death. So Varnashram is such a beautiful concept. It actually tells you how to punish whom. So in this way, Arjuna very intelligently, very maturely punished this guy heavily because Arjuna killed him as well as not killed him, left him alive. So killed him by hurting his ego in that way and purifying him. In fact, for next 3,000 years, he kept roaming with a very severe disease caused by Krishna because of his offenses done. It is explained elsewhere in another Purana. So in the end, the point here is that devotee has to be like Arjuna. He has to and like Draupadi has to have the good qualities and still has to be very considerate and very mature because there will always be multiple opinions. What do you do in such situation? You have to display maturity. From where do you get that maturity? When you chant the holy name sincerely, and in general, when you hear the Bhagavatam. So, so when such situations come, when there is no other external guidance available, so then Paramatma in our heart will guide us how to act, how to harmonize contradictions, how to reconcile, you know, two extremes. So this is the main thing here mentioned. Like by Krishna's grace, Arjuna could handle such a situation and still satisfy everyone and give a lesson to that Ashwatthama guy also. So like that. So I hope it was. Although I am sorry for, I'm really sorry for extending, but this was worth this.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Thank you very much. I think this is very nice. You mentioned so many nice points about how a devotee thinks twice, even though it was he had killed Karna had killed Abhimanyu like that, but he still thought of it twice, and he did it because Krishna asked him to do so. Devotees of Lord are more compassionate. Although Krishna says that don't go and distribute this knowledge to people who are faithless, but devotees shall go out of the way to create that faith, that spark of faith by giving them Harinam, Sadham. So,
So,
so yeah, bro. Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. देखो,
Jai. His Grace Achyuta Mohan Prabhu ki
Jai.
Jai. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Kripa Sindhu,
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Left class by